Tigerland. My name is Mario Mireles, and I have the privilege of serving as a principal of the flagship school of Laredo and the Laredo Independent School District as one of our oldest high schools in Laredo, Texas, Martin High School. Go Tigers! Martin High takes great pride in our school spirit, traditions, and countless achievements. Most especially, we are proud of the exemplary rating we received from the Texas Education Agency for our academic prowess and for making sure our students succeed. Martin High School, I'm happy to share, is an A campus rated by our TEA, one of the best high schools in Laredo in the state of Texas. Let's give our students a big round of applause. Martin High School continues leading the way in developing Laredo's youth and future leaders. Just last week, we introduced a new opportunity for our students. Commercial driver's license training is now available for Martin High School students who wish to become school bus drivers and tractor trailer drivers. Martin High School, round of applause. Martin High School is also the home of 2 of LISD's 7 specialty schools. Just a few feet away from me, here in the back, is our Dr. Dennis D. Cantu Early College High School, which prepares students for a career in health, and we have our director here, Ms. Jerry Arredondo, in the back. We also have our newest Martin High School Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources P-Tech school that we're unveiling, and we're starting with our freshman cohort this year. So let's give a big round of applause for it. So you can see why we are very excited and passionate about the rich educational experience offered here at Martin High School. And now we're very pleased and honored to remember one of our most beloved teachers, the late Mr. Ruth Young, who was a faculty member here at Martin High School for over 50 years. You'll hear more about Ms. Young from our speakers during this morning's dedication ceremony. But before we continue with our ceremony, I would like to turn over the microphone over to LISD's Executive Director of Communications, Ms. Veronica Castillon. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mireles. And good morning and welcome to Tigerland, everybody. In the world of education, Ruth Young was a giant who earned the respect of her students, her colleagues, and the entire community. But you're going to hear more about Ms. Young in just a little bit during this morning's ceremony. First, I would like for you all to please rise for the invocation to be given by the Colonel of Martin High School Tigerettes, Ms. Julie Martinez. I call them the Tigerettes because Ms. Young was the sponsor of the Tigerettes when she was here. But back then it was called the Pep Squad. Ms. Julie Martinez.
Please join me for today's invocation and bow your head. Heavenly Father, as we gather here today to dedicate the Tigers and in honor of Mrs. Ruth B. Young, we humbly ask for your blessings and guidance upon this endeavor, that it may serve as a beacon of inspiration, a hub of collaboration, and a testament to our shared commitment to maintain the memory of Mrs. Young in this beautiful facility. May the energy of this place be infused with creativity, resilience, and the spirit of unity. Guide us in our efforts to build a future worthy of our dreams we hold in our hearts. We offer our gratitude for this opportunity to serve and to make a positive impact on our community. Amen.
Thank you so much, Ms. Julie. And please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Martin High School Junior ROTC Color Guard under the direction of Sergeant Dinora Villarreal. The national anthem will be provided by the Martin High School Band under the direction of Mr. Bobby Castro, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Martin High School Student Council President Francisco Guerrero.
Sir, that's it. Good. Go where? Mark.
of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Order! Cutters! Right, fence! Turn! Forward! March!
At this time, I'd like to introduce some of our dignitaries today, starting with the Honorable Goyo Lopez, Vice President of the Board and a member of the Martin High School class of 1986. Our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Silvia Guerra Rios. We also have the Honorable Margie Ibarra, Webb County Clerk. And representing Dr. Melita Ramirez from Laredo College, Dr. Solis. Thank you for being here. We'd also like to welcome the deputies from the Webb County Sheriff's Office. Thank you all for being here. We also have several former faculty members from Martin High School. Please rise and be recognized. So happy to have you all. Miss Ruth Young, so happy to have you all here. Thank you for being here. Our first speaker is a product of LISD schools and a proud graduate of Martin High School. He's a respected member of our community and a tireless advocate for our students. Please help me welcome the Vice President of our board, Mr. Goyo Lopez.
Good morning once again. Thank you for taking the time to be with us for this wonderful experience, for this wonderful commemoration and dedication. I was talking to my dad, who's 89 years young, and I do believe, if his memory serves correct, Miss Young was here when he was a student here at Martin High School. He graduated, I believe, the class of 1952, so that was a while back. That's how long she was. She literally dedicated her life to this school and to all the students who roam the halls here of Tigerland. So it gives me great honor to be here today. A lot of folks have been saying thank you to me, but I don't deserve any of the gratitude. These ladies, right here, these are the ladies that deserve the gratitude. It was their initiative. They got the signatures. They approached the board of trustees here at LISD, and it was them that were the driving force to seeing this day to fruition. So if you all are here today and want to thank anybody, you thank all these ladies here in the front seat. Ms. Tijerina did all the research, did a little bio, and made the case for why this Tiger's Den should be named after Ruth Young. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you once again. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lopez. Our superintendent has been leading the way for LISD since 2017. Her leadership has resulted in 11 National Blue Ribbon School titles from the United States Department of Education as recommended by the Texas Education Agency. So please put together your hands for our superintendent, Dr. Rios.
With my colleagues, former and current, and at the same time, it's such a pleasure to be with you because we know how important this particular award, or I should say distinction, is to you. But it's also special to us, to the students who are here with us. Thank you for being the next generation of Martin Tigers who will carry forth that spirit, that opportunity that Laredo ISD has afforded to every student. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Laredo ISD. Laredo ISD, you see a building right here. Thanks to the Board of Trustees, to more than one board, there's always been a vision for Laredo ISD. And the vision for Laredo ISD is never being second to anyone. And that's what we are. That's who we are. And that's what we practice every single day of the year. But it happens because people come together, not because something is written on a piece of paper. Our vision for Laredo ISD is this: empowering minds, shaping futures, and strengthening communities. And why an S on communities? Because we are more than one community. Because we work together to rise in every single occasion. Laredo ISD is more than 140 years old. I'm going to say 147. Now, I am a Hebbronville native, but I came to Laredo ISD as a principal in 2001. And what I have seen through the years is this very, very deliberate and committed effort to bring LISD all of the accolades that it has always worked for, but now we want to be able to expand on those. Let's talk a little bit about Laredo ISD and academics. Laredo ISD has been rated an A district, and I will tell you, yes, we have 11 blue ribbon designations, but not because we applied, but because the United States Department of Education actually approved these nominations from the Texas Education Agency. That means that we are one of the top school districts. In fact, I just got a call recently for 3 more potential nominees. And you know what that means? That means that half of our schools, should it happen, should they go through the process, because it's an examination process, should these 3 additional schools become nationally recognized blue ribbon schools, that means that half of our schools will be recognized in the United States, in every single state. And let me tell you what's important about that. It's not schools only from one part of LISD. We are a 13-mile boundary school. We're an inner city school district. We have 97% economically disadvantaged population. We have 57% bilingual education students. And so when you look at that, when you look and you see in the state, there's only 23% bilingual designated students. There's only, I think it's like, what, 40% or so that are economically disadvantaged. To us, the challenges don't matter because we believe in our students. We believe in the power of community. We believe in the power of supports. We believe in you, not only the legacy bearers, but also those who are going to move forward. So every young student that we see here, they have a role to play. And that role is to extend the opportunities that we have here at LISD. I really want to thank our Board of Trustees for having the foresight, and our staff for having the foresight. Later on, I know that Mr. Mireles is going to take you to walk into that multi-purpose building, which is one of the new construction projects that we have had. You've been to Shirley Field, that was also another construction project. If you walk into any of our high schools, besides the Dennis D. Candu Early College for Health and Science, we have specialty schools for engineering, we have specialty schools for business professionals, we have specialty schools for the teaching force, and now we have a 98% rating for college, career, and military readiness. That means that we are in partnerships with Laredo College and other universities. What we're doing is we're preparing our students for either college, for a career as soon as they walk out of our schools, or the military. And we take pride in that. We take pride in that because we know it's a legacy that was created over 147 years. I also want to thank Martin High School for this wonderful, wonderful collage or pamphlet of what Ms. Young contributed and what she was a part of. And she was a part of the Big Red, and she was a part of Martin Tigers. You know, once a tiger, always a tiger. And think about that. Think about the difference that this woman, this educator, made for not only Mr. Boyo's dad and anyone else who has attended Martin High School, but look at what has happened throughout the years. We are who we are because we care. We have that ethic of care. But not only do we have that ethic of care, we have pride. And the pride is engendered by every single individual who comes into our schools. Some of you walked through a brand new security system. And I don't know if you got to experience that a little while ago, but these are innovations that we are bringing forth by a very qualified staff. We have kids that every day, the very first time that I came to Laredo ISD, which was back in 2001, I was the principal of the Green School. Okay, I know. But let me tell you, I sat in the stands, and they were not these stands, and this is what I heard because we were home, not home, we were a visitor. And there was a game that was being played at 3 o'clock or so, and this is what I heard that day. So much energy and pride from our Martin High School band, from our cheerleaders, from our dance team, from the players that were there, from the families. It was a full stadium. I can't even remember who won that game. Because I don't want to. All I can tell you is that energy was so fierce, but it was a reflection of every single teacher, of every single community member. It was a reflection of the community in which we live. So today, thank you for being here, Mr. Young and family. Thank you for honoring your aunt, your sibling, the person who made a difference in our lives. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have been here before and who are still here, and those of you who are sitting over there. Thank you for always believing in what we can do, instead of saying, no, that isn't possible. So thank you so much. Congratulations for this wonderful honor. And let's move forward and let's continue to be the best.
Thank you, Dr. Rios, and you're right. LISD always makes a way for our students. Our final speaker this morning is here representing the family of Miss Ruth Young. Please give a Tigerland welcome to Mr. Bill Young, the nephew of Miss Ruth Young.
We get my notes out here because I'm not like all these other speakers. I have my notes.
You're wearing the right color.
I'm wearing the right. I made a trip to Walmart, made sure I got the right colors. I asked Coach Ramirez. I don't know if y'all remember Rene Ramirez. He was a coach here at Martin, and he lives across the street from me. We're neighbors. And his wife Elsa, her first year here at Martin, Ms. Ruth Young was her boss. And so she was telling me about this house. But first, it is my honor and privilege to be here to represent my aunt, Ruth Young. I would first like to thank those that made this possible. The LISD board, the superintendent, Rios, and all y'all who really put it forth. Y'all are the ones that made it happen. Thank you. I would also like to thank all my family members. I'll introduce you to them because I was told I need to introduce by name. I had it all written down. I said, no, I don't need to. I was going to introduce them just as family members. But my wife, Leslie Young. My sister is my older sister, Catherine Young. My daughter, Corey Young. Letitia Young. Eddie Young. Marianne Young. Well, she's doing now because her husband Harry's sitting there with her, so I better mention that. I used to have hair, that's why I called him Harry. I would also like to thank everybody that's come. All these people came in here. Marianne, her husband, came from Houston. My sister came from Harlingen. My daughter from San Antonio. And a lot of other family members came from other areas of the state. So I want to thank them all for coming and being here to honor Ruth here at Martin High School. My Aunt Ruth was first hired at Martin High School in 1936 when Martin High School was at the La Posada location. When it moved here to this glorious campus, it became her home in 1937. I mean, she always, her main goal was her cheerleaders, her pep squad, the Tigerettes. That made her come, that was her family. That was her life. I mean, this school was her life. And she dedicated her life to this school. I mean, this school came before her family, her friends, everything. I mean, her students were all she lived for. She lived to come to this school every morning. And I walked the halls with her, and I remember her walking. I don't know, some of y'all went to Martin or were here when she was here. And she used to walk around, she used to go like this all the time. She always had that shoulder thing. And I walked in, all the guys were standing against the wall with their feet against the wall. All she did was turn around and go, and they all put their feet down. So I was young, I was looking, wow. But, you know, in ending, so I don't want to keep this too long. In ending, I would like to say something that was her saying all her life. And that was, once a tiger,
Always a tiger.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate y'all being here. And thanks for your time. Thank you.
And now we're gonna hear a few words from one of her colleagues, Ms. Anita Tijerina. If you want to come up here and say a few words. Give a big round of applause for Ms. Tijerina.
Miss Young, there was a side of her that very few people knew about, okay? She worked in everything and anything that was Martin High. She was in charge of the summer school program for kids, disadvantaged kids who couldn't afford to pay for summer school. And she always hired me as one of her teachers. We were colleagues. And one time I had to go to her office for something or other, and before I got there, she was handing out a bag of groceries and some new tennis shoes to one of the students. And so, you know, I looked at it and I thought, what is this? Anyway, the student left with his tennis shoes and his food. And she looked at me and she said, don't you dare tell anybody that I did that. And this was the type of person that Miss Young was, you know? And she didn't advertise it, she didn't want to be recognized. Everybody was scared of her, but they respected her. Okay? So I just wanted to say, you know, that little thing that very few people knew about her. And I loved her. She was my teacher first when I first came to Martin High, and then she was my colleague and she became my friend. And so I wanted to do this for her, and I'm very happy. I thank everybody that had something to do with this coming about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tijerina. I also want to call on another student and former faculty member of Martin High School, Ms. Melba Ornelas Gonzalez, to say a few words about this meeting.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be back home. Like everybody knows, once a tiger, always a tiger. I'm an alumnus of Martin High School. I came to this school from 1969 to 1972. And I was a student of Miss Young for Student Council. Her desire, her vision for a snack bar started when I was in school. We talked about it. We formulated the idea. And so she said, it's going to come from our work and what we do here. And so the idea was born. and we started fundraising. It didn't come from LISD, it came from fundraising. I was fortunate enough to graduate from college and come back to teach in 1976. By that time, the Tiger's Den had been born. We continued to work with it, and I became her right-hand man because our principal at the time, Colonel Flores, said, "You're young, you're single, you're gonna drive her everywhere." Okay. And so I became the driver, taking her to all of these conventions for student council, for government conferences, for all these places that she needed to go, I drove. And if you look and kind of figure out, what do I do with a backseat driver? Oh my God, turn here, turn there, don't go through there. She knew it all. And so when the Tiger's Den, and it was a little shack, I mean, before all of this was built, we called it the casita. That's where she started selling tacos, hamburgers, hot dogs, all the snacks you can think of. And it was the place for everyone who, of course, our students, to go and relax. You'd find Colonel Flores there, teachers there. She even hired a lady by the name of Maria to cook, and boy, was she an excellent cook. And so, just a little history behind the Tiger's Den. And of course, I was here for 31 years, and I do remember when she retired, the superintendent then, Vidal Trevino, she wanted to continue without pay. She stayed here for a couple more years, and Vidal Trevino said, no one is going to get her away from Martin High School. So yes, this honor, long overdue. And it was instigated by my aunt, Amita Tijerina. We took the ball and we went off with it. Thank you to all the board members, the superintendent. This honor is long overdue. This was Miss Ruth Young. Thank you.
Wow, I never knew that was your tia. Thank you so much for those memories. Well, I'm glad Bill Young is still close by here, because at this time we're going to be unveiling the portrait and plaque which will forever grace the Ruth Young Tiger's Den. And while I have our board members gathered here, Mr. Mireles, Dr. Rios, and Bill Young, and then we'll be adding some more people, get ready to unveil. And I also want to make sure we recognize, I have here Judge Juan Paz. We thank you for being here, and Red County Commissioner. Thank you for joining us this morning. Martin High School Band, are you all getting ready? May we start with a drum roll?
Hold on.